morning, everyone. Chill Girl Chrissy here, Alderman in Ward 6. Welcome to the Chill and Heal Show. We're here to fuel your mind, body, and soul with goodness. Open up, share, be real, be raw, overcome, let go, and simply live a joyous life together. And I'm super excited to have Melissa Bailey in the studio. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I didn't come just for the free lip balm either.
Oh my God. I love that. Oh my God. Well, I do have some goodies for you, some chill essentials. We've been in business, Chill Spa, for 20 years. And it has been such a blessing to be an entrepreneur and living in our great state of New Hampshire. And you are running, so here, a little brow shaper, lip balm.
Thank you, I'm excited.
You know, it's in it. What I love about our products is it's universal for its. I think about the word inclusive, and I feel like that word has been hijacked.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are truly the inclusive brand because our brow shaper is great for any skin type, any hair color, blonde to brunette to redheads, light skin to dark skin. It's universal, so truly inclusive. And talking on that lines, you are candidate for CD1.
Yes.
So congratulations for being in the race.
I don't know if congratulations is the right
Well,
word. But.
you know, I think it really is
Yeah.
because it takes a special person to jump into a race. Yeah. And I did that a few years ago, and I know, and mine was small compared to yours. So your bravery, your commitment to our cities, our towns, our great state of New Hampshire. And so do you want to share a little bit? I know a few things about you, which I love to. And we met at the Stand Down.
Veterans Stand Down.
Veterans Stand Down. I was doing some free haircuts.
Yeah.
And you were there getting involved, which you've been involved for quite some time.
Yeah, back in last summer, but I was excited to meet you there. That was the first time I met you in person, but I have actually been mistaken for you twice now.
That's a huge compliment because you're beautiful.
I think it's a compliment too. So I was in Bedford leaving Simply Delicious, my favorite
I love
shop,
that place.
And a gentleman, so this was before I was in this race, had no name in politics, and someone came up to me, this gentleman, and said, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I kind of looked at him funny and was like, "Why?" And my teenage daughter was with me, and she was thinking the same thing. And he said, "Aren't you Chrissy Cantor?" And I said, "No." "Do you still want a picture with me?" He didn't.
But you weren't in the race yet.
No, I was just.
So I'm sure he would, because I feel like we align on so many things.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Oh my God,
he should have taken that picture. So.
Yeah, totally.
And then actually just last week someone said they saw my sign at Central, and I said, "I don't have a sign at Central, but I should." But you're probably seeing Chrissy's sign. And he said, "Yeah, I think that's who it is."
I do. I have a couple signs still up around Manchester. Yeah. I just really believe we need to clean up our great city and continue our all-American New Hampshire values.
Yeah, absolutely.
And having the courage to get involved, show up to city town halls and city hall to speak up for what you believe in.
Absolutely. And I know I've heard you say you feel called into what you're doing. Serving at every level is important, and that's exactly why I'm running. I feel the same. I have been a stay-at-home mom for about 10 years. Before that, I had a career in the private sector. I was in finance, accounting, financial auditing, and was blessed to be able to stay home with my children during their young, formative years, during COVID, which obviously changed the way we look at parenting and the world. And to be with my kids through those years has been incredible. And now when I look at them, they're getting older. I have a 17-year-old. She's heading off to college. I have a 15-year-old who's learning how to drive. Pretty scary. I'm sending him to Londonderry for driver's ed, so keeping off these roads for now. And my youngest is heading to middle school next year, so it gave me the opportunity to say, hey, what is next? And when I look at their faces, I just knew I had to do something to save this country that we love. And to hand down a stronger New Hampshire and a stronger America to them. So that's what drove me into this race. Interest in politics grew over probably that time of being home as a mom and seeing the impacts of policies on families and on education, on what parents could do to raise their children. So those are really the things that drove me into this, along with I have a business background. So finance background.
I just learned a financial auditor.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we need a lot of that going on.
You know what's funny about that? I look at, life is an adventure and some of the things I've done along the way and how they're the perfect puzzle piece. When else would it be exciting to talk about being a financial auditor?
I know.
Except when fraud is being uncovered. We're usually the basement bean counters, right? Companies would put us wherever they didn't have to see us or wherever it felt uncomfortable, so we wouldn't be there too long. So, it's pretty incredible. But as someone raising a family, certainly you think about those issues like education and raising children with our values, but underlying it all is financial freedom. And we have a federal government that spends recklessly. The spending is out of control, the debt is out of control, the amount of fraud and the growth of that fraud because there aren't controls in our federal programs is astounding and ridiculous, and exactly what I want to be in Washington, working to improve, to bring accountability and discipline and ensure that the programs, the federal government has a role, right?
Yeah.
It's too big. We need a more limited government for sure. It's gone way outside the scope of what it was set up to do. But the programs that are there to help Granite Staters who need them, we need those to be in place, and they're being abused to the extent that they're not.
Yeah, I feel like we need them protected for those that really need them, and for the people that are abusing them.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yep, absolutely. So we certainly need to, and a lot of people say, well, how much fraud could there be? Well, we've never really looked at it, right? And
let's pull back the curtains.
As these programs have grown, even if you say it's a small percentage, the programs have gotten to such a large scope and scale that even if it is a small percentage, it's still big dollars. And based on what we're seeing, there's no way it can be a small percentage. What was there before, and then the changes that were made during COVID to just hand cash out to anyone who asked for it really, really created these loopholes that fraudsters are able to take advantage of. So there's a lot to find there, and we certainly need to continue that focus. I like that JD Vance is heading up our fraud task force, and I would love to be there working in that war on fraud. So,
yes, it would be amazing. So, what is the difference between you and the other candidates? Because you have, I helped Joe Kelly run in CD1 last time around, and I thought it was just a really great race. I like Holly, Russell, who won. He was a great guy. I felt like it was just a really good race, and I feel like the same across the board for who you're running with as well. So what sets you apart from the other ones? I think it's great that no one's like really slinging mud right now. It's like, all right, who are you, and what can you do, and what's your, well, first of all, besides you being you and fabulous, do you know what I mean? Yeah. What does someone not know about you?
Yeah. Well, it's phase of life. I still have children that I'm raising. They're old enough that I have the opportunity to do this, but I have been raising a family during these critical years when we've seen so many of our freedoms being stripped away. So I've experienced it firsthand. And the creep of leftism, of wokeism, of those ideologies into what is being fed into our children and the impact it's having on our country. So I've experienced that firsthand. I have I like to think of the coalition model or the different circles that I fit into, that I think I can bring voters together from different groups. So I have families. I have the people I'm with in the community. My kids are in public school now. We've done some homeschooling. We did a little bit of university model private school. So we really have, as a family, tried to figure out the best education model for our children along the way. So that whole group of education freedom, I appeal to that group, and it's something that I'm passionate about. But my kids are in public school now, and I also appreciate our public schools. And we're out in our community. We're out in Bedford. We're part of youth sports, part of high school sports. So those people that are out in the community not thinking about politics every day or some of these issues like you and I are, I'm around them. I have the business community, so this banking and financial background that I'm able to reach out to and connect to businesses and offer them something as well. I am a person of strong faith, so I've been reaching out to the faith community. I really think that we need to vote our values and encourage Christians. I'm a Christian, so in particular, I'm trying to encourage Christians to get out there and vote for our values. So I'm looking at the race a little different, I think, than some of the candidates in that way, trying to build coalitions across different groups. also trying to figure out how to communicate to as many people as I can, because we're such a retail politics state. And we have a great district. It's actually pretty doable versus District 2 as far as driving and getting everywhere, but you still can't shake everyone's hands 5 times.
Yeah.
So I'm using social media. We are an increasingly digital world, and our younger generation in particular, it's really interesting, the apps, how they even work, right? So our generation, Facebook, people are using Facebook.
Yeah.
So we're still digital and we're still getting our information in a different way. Some traditional news, but certainly a lot online. And then, you know, the next generation below is Instagram, TikTok. A lot of people use YouTube, just lots of different digital platforms. You have the business world, they get a lot of their news and information through LinkedIn. You have the political world that gets their news and information through X. So it's being on all of these different platforms to get my name out there, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's that name recognition.
It is the name.
So if I can get it out there across all of these different groups of people, that's how we win this race. So I think that sets me apart. I think that my message is a little different. I'm very focused on.
What is your specific message? If you, I know a little bit of it. Yeah.
So families first, freedom forever.
Freedom forever. I mean, that is like priceless. And families first.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So it's that freedom to raise your family, certainly. But here in New Hampshire, we're considered a purplish state, right? A lot of people want the most common sense, least extreme option when they're looking at who to vote for. And we don't talk about freedom enough. We're the live free or die state. And when you look at policies that are coming from the Democrats or the Republicans, it's easy to say this gives me more freedom or less freedom, and we don't talk about that. I think that the Democrats do a really good job with messaging. That's about the only thing I think they do a good job with. But
totally.
they really stick to their message, and we need to have a messenger that goes out there and says what they're offering strips away your freedoms. We don't want that. We want limited government. We want low taxes. We want safe communities. That's another issue that people are talking about a lot out there. Is there's just a disregard for law and order through the Democrats' policies. And I know we've done a lot in our state. It's been an important issue here with bail reform and no sanctuary policies. So the fact that that's an important issue.
We have sanctuary policies in Manchester.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're not right out there, but they are.
They're skirting around.
They are. I mean, the shelter doesn't check ID, so what is that?
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So these are things, spinning on words to say we don't have sanctuary policies. I mean, for me, I'm like, wait a second, if we don't check ID, what does that mean? Isn't that kind of?
Yeah. I think it's working with the federal government when it comes to enforcement of immigration. So certainly we have better policies than a lot of the states out there and what the Democrats are pushing. So Stephanie Shaheen, who's running for this seat, who doesn't want our local police to cooperate with ICE. She was vocal against the ICE facility in Merrimack, and I mean their whole party has been. So yeah.
I do like the turning ICE into nice.
It's great. See, it's the branding that we were just talking about. It's rebranding.
It's really, really important. I love how you said we shouldn't be replacing ABCs with DEI, which is, you know, dividing us up. People don't think, they think that the word diversity, inclusion, those actually, as much as they're separate, they're great words, but it really divides us up when you look at the Wheel of Power and Privilege that was released into the Manchester School District. Yeah, and you know, waiting on an investigation that I had asked for is still like ongoing.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really. I say it's ongoing.
Is it getting any traction? Like,
well, they say, oh yeah, it did happen. There was, you know, the teacher was held accountable, but really it should be the school district that was held accountable because it was passed off to the teachers for teacher training. So where is the accountability when? At the higher level.
Yeah.
Like, why does the teacher have to take the fall, even if she was okay with passing it out?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You have your leadership that needs to be held accountable.
Absolutely. And a lot of that comes through the teachers' unions and the policies that are being pushed there. And we certainly need to find a way to release their stranglehold on us. They are not helping teachers, for one. Teachers continue to struggle. You don't ever hear a teacher say, wow, I have so much money, I'm going to go on an extra vacation this year. And our children are suffering. They are focused more on pushing these left-wing values on our children than they are on educating them. And obviously that's apparent in our test scores. Children can't read and write. So it's a real problem. And why are kids being asked their pronouns?
Yeah. I'm like, give me a break.
Yeah.
The day I was asked my pronouns, I think I was like 51 years old, and I was like, you're kidding me, right? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I am me. I'm me. No, I'm not. I don't need to say, if you don't know that I'm a she, and it doesn't even matter. If I chose to be a he, I'll be like, yeah, I'm whatever, Frank. I don't need to say my pronouns.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, nothing should be pushed on anyone. And
Absolutely.
why do I have to identify with anything except who I am?
As individuals.
As
And that's
individuals,
exactly, it kind of goes back to what you're
respecting
saying
everyone.
about DEI is it tries to put people in buckets and it takes away your individuality, and you've been oppressed if you're in a certain bucket, or you're an oppressor if you're in a certain bucket. And it takes away that individual responsibility, which again is one of those things that we value here in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
We pick ourselves up by the bootstraps. We are all about, personal successes and working hard, and DEI is completely contradictory to that. So, but back to the pronouns too.
Yes.
We were asked recently in one of these candidate forums about, why is it such a big issue, this boys and girls sports? Because it's only a handful of kids. And every time someone minimizes the issue that way, it makes me so angry, because it's not. It's seeped its way into having to give pronouns, whether it's a survey for our kids at school. We actually had a doctor that did that to my daughter, a medical professional, asking her about her pronouns. So it's every aspect of life. It's not just education, it's medicine, it's everywhere. It's being pushed on us. So the end result of boys now being pushed into girls' sports and locker rooms, that's what's happened because of this slow creep. And so we just need to cut it all off. And people can try to minimize it. Again, Stephanie Shaheen has said, boys should be in our girls' sports on a case-by-case basis. We should consider that.
No.
I want to ask her which cases. There's no cases that
That's
it should,
a great question.
Yeah.
Which cases is she talking about?
Yeah.
Specifically.
it should not be allowed. We just
Look, there's a lot of men that can dress like women and they look stunning, but they are still a man underneath those clothes.
Absolutely.
For me, it's like, stay in your lane, but be your own person.
Yeah.
Freedom to be you, freedom to be me. Let's be respectful. I was just down at the Museum of Science in Boston, and they did it right in the bathroom areas, because they had a ton of stalls. It was, what do you say, genderless? Like, it didn't matter. There was a ton of sinks. It was all open concept except the stalls. The stalls were individual. It didn't have anything on them. You just picked your stall and you went in. Yeah. So it was freedom to be you, freedom to be me. Yeah. Everyone deserves privacy, period. And no one should be shamed. And if I want to change my pronouns, why should I have to tell you, and why should I have to answer to you and make me feel uncomfortable if I'm figuring my life out? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
absolutely. I actually really respect everyone.
Yeah. I think so too. So you're saying you liked something about Massachusetts. So that was an admission
Which is a
right
huge
there.
thing. Yeah. Because I'm like die hard, live free or die.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay,
This is great.
Museum of Science.
Yeah.
They just had their own individual bathrooms.
Right. No, but I think what you're saying is another, it's what the Democrats have done with their messaging. They try to paint us, anyone who sees this as an issue that we want our girls to have separate spaces, they paint us as bigots, or as, we're somehow lacking compassion for the people that want to identify this way. And that's not what it's about. Right. And that's what they've been focused on. It's about keeping people safe, certainly our girls safe. Yeah. And to your point, if an adult wants to present any way they want, fine. That's, again, in New Hampshire, especially, live free or die.
Yes, live
your
free
values.
or die. You be you.
Yeah.
So I think it's I love our state.
Yeah, I agree.
It's an amazing state, and we really truly, I know that you respect others
Yeah.
as well as I, but I do get labeled as transphobic. And I'm like, it's so funny because I actually come from the world of hairdressing and spa, and I have so many people that are, they can identify however they want. And I'm actually drawn to so many different people from their style, their kindness.
Yeah.
It's just like we don't need to be put in boxes
Right.
or in a pie shape of the wheel of power and privilege. It's like shine bright, be kind.
Right.
I don't know. I just, I just think it should be that simple.
Absolutely.
Being respectful. And
well, you said something there that you love our state, and
Yes.
I've talked about that too. So something people might not know about me, I recently shared on another podcast I was on. But so I was born and raised here. I grew up in the Upper Valley. I graduated from Lebanon High School, so I still have family up in that area for the most part. I have some family locally in Bedford where I live now as well. And then I moved away for a while. I think as a child, I didn't necessarily appreciate all that our state had to offer. So I went to college out of state, lived in 7 states outside of New Hampshire. So I've seen a lot of different policies across states, including California and Texas.
Yeah.
So I've seen every extreme, and
whoa, California, Texas.
and New Jersey and Ohio, all sorts of things.
And I have family in New Jersey too.
And New Hampshire is truly unique, and being in this race, I appreciated even more how people are interested in politics. They're interested in policies that affect their lives here. And again, people are interested here in freedom, living their lives.
Yeah.
You don't get that everywhere. You don't have in other states representation like we have either, where, people are out and about and you can see the people like you who are representing your community and you're doing a show like this. So I think it's a great, we just are so unique, and I really appreciate our state having had those experiences. But also having my roots here and coming back to my roots.
And the fact that you came back, I never left, but my sister left. She hasn't come back. Maybe you can come back a little bit, Deb. But I do. I love our hometown good values, but I love that we're an hour from Boston, an hour from the seacoast, hour from the mountains. I mean, I just feel like we're so blessed in New Hampshire, and to fight for and continue to fight for our freedom and stronger borders. And
you can't have freedom without safety. You
Yep.
can't, because you don't feel free if you're out taking a walk or out in the community as a family, and you can't feel free if you're not financially stable. So everything's tied together with that message of freedom, which is why I'm really focused on that message, because it really does encompass everything that we're feeling, whether it's values, financial, safety. Those are all really important issues right now. So
those are definitely the top. And how can we find you? And how do we follow you on social media to hear more about,
I'm sure you're going to see
your
more of me
messaging?
than you expect if you try to find me. I am all over social media. It's Melissa for NH. The number 4.
The number 4 for New Hampshire.
On Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't know what my YouTube is actually, but just look up Melissa Bailey for Congress. X, kind of all the platforms. And melissabailey4nh.com for my website as well. And go on there and sign up. And if you sign up on our contact form there, we will send you emails and you can follow along to the campaign, see where I'm going to be. And I'd love to hear from people. If you want to send an email, say, hey, there's this great event that our town or community is doing, come check it out. I would love to hear from you. And
I know, because you're really everywhere, which is amazing. People are like, hey, do you know Melissa? And I'm like, yeah, I've met her a couple times, and it's, and they're seeing your signs. So it's just about being out there and showing up. And thank you for showing up and sharing and standing up for, against the mandates. You know, I think about, I woke up in 2020, and it sounds like that's what it kind of made you roar.
And I was in California.
Oh, you were in California. Oh my God,
it was horrible.
I can't even imagine.
No. So it was tough, and we quickly sold our house and fled. And then we started an RV journey of homeschooling from an RV. So that's probably another show.
Well, we'll have to have you back on to share all your tips and tricks in raising a family and overcoming the insanity. And actually getting involved. So if you want to get involved with Melissa, find out more. Melissa Bailey for New Hampshire.
Yeah, for NH. Yeah,
For NH. Oh, yeah. We have 2 more minutes. You want to share anything else that's important to you?
Well, I guess, let's see. We could talk.
How do you chill?
How do
you chill? Because I know it's a lot to be on the campaign trail.
I don't chill well, to be honest.
You keep going.
I have trouble sitting
Mm-hmm.
because I'll just fall asleep by the time I sit. But I do enjoy working out, and I'm not doing it enough now. I'm a runner. I hate to say that because I went for a run this morning, and I'm really out of practice because I've been running in this race and I don't have as much time to be out there, but I really need to. So this is a good reminder that I need to be chilling more.
Yes.
So getting out there and running is really important to me. And then just hanging out with my family, that's definitely been the hardest part. I was the main kind of point of contact for our family for all those years. And even though my kids are older and more independent, they still need, to eat and to be driven places.
Yes.
All those things. And it's been, a transition for us, but it's been really incredible too. So they get to see me doing this thing that I love, and I get to see their relationship change with my husband, with their dad as well. So it's been incredible.
So an incredible supportive family.
Yep.
And thank you. Thank you for running and standing up and getting people involved. And best of luck. And we'll have to have you back on, Melissa.
Sounds great.
So Melissa Bailey for nh.com. God bless everyone. And until next time, stay chill. And thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.